And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. I am realizing the odd jobber shortage now that we're back in the city. Last part I didn't realize, or didn't remember. We're in the middle of a pandemic. That's why we have so many odd jobbers. It should actually recover without me bringing more people in. Let's at least try to pass the pandemic before I bring more people into the city just to get sick. Oh, and I do have mechanics. Let's get that small mechanic set up to go with our small smithy here. So, mechanic. Storage. We need a little bit of support in the middle of the room here. Did I not put support in that one and it worked out? I'm surprised I got away with that. Oh, it's one narrower. The other one is. I can make this one narrow. That'll work. Let me speak down while I'm doing this. Here we go. Here, that should work. So, door. Technically not enough insulation, so if I get rid of those doors, yeah, that works. 3 produces 6 machinery, which is probably more than I need to do the maintenance at least. And what I want to build out. How much machinery storage do I currently have? 300. How much do I need to build up my laboratories? 63 for the 2 big ones. And I'll probably want a little more than that. Okay. I were to go out to my richest neighbor. That's my neighbors. Neighbors. The richest neighbor. I would like to buy sources. 250 machinery off of you. That's $500,000. Machinery is expensive. But I can pay for them, so that's not a problem. The pandemic is recovering, although the odd jobber count is not necessarily coming back with it. I have captive capacity of about 170. Let's, in the hopes of getting the odd jobber count improved, reach out to the same neighbor we were just talking to. Can I have you supply me 150 human captives? And I'm basically hanging out here because I can watch them arrive at the stockade here. This is the smaller of the 2 stockades, but we should still see them arrive. And we're going to watch the progress on the mechanics construction, and I can see the status of our machinery. When any of those actually get sorted, I can do the requisite effects. So when people arrive, I can harden them, release them out into the general populace. When the machinery arrives, I can upgrade the laboratories. I suppose technically we don't need to watch the mechanic being built, but we're going to watch the mechanic being built. And then at the same time, we're also technically doing a siege, which I can sort of see the progress of the siege up here. I believe this turns blue when you're in a state where you can do a successful assault. Obviously, 100% of the siege being done is somewhere in where you do a successful assault, so you have to go a couple days sometimes past the color change, but... So I think we've mostly recovered from the pandemic. And I could probably bring in more slaves, so something like bringing Garthemi captives and actually keep those as slaves, enslave them would be plausible. The Garthemi, for example, don't mind being... The free Garthemi do not mind their friends being enslaved, so we could definitely enslave some of them. And the slave percentage is low enough that the amount of Nidorians don't actually care. They're one of the few that care. Well, most people care if their race is enslaved. The Garthemi are weird like that. Suppose I could get some fulfillment on... Although not much fulfillment. We don't have enough slaves apparently to piss people off much. I think the mechanics are going to arrive before the slaves. Not by very much, but they should. Okay, almost everything delivered there. And then the mechanics, I think, use furniture and... Furniture and not... Furniture and metal. Okay. So we import the metal, so it's a bit of a shame because we're going to have to import the metal, but that's fine. And with the other smithy done, we're now tool positive again. That's good to see. So we're no longer importing tools. Nope, here comes the tool trade. Inner captives. Pardon all of you. And pardon all of you. Swap back around to the first one because more has arrived there. Pardon all the captives. Pardon all the captives. I could technically wait until every last one arrived and then I only need to push the button twice, but there we go. Go. So that should improve the laboratories. Let's also improve the pumps. I have enough parts for the pumps. I have enough parts for one pump. Am I part positive? Should be. In theory, the lab should only be eating about a fourth parts. So yeah, let's do the first pump. Frees up more labor. Done, or most of the way done? Most of the way done. 10 for misadventure. What did you do over there that's considered misadventure? We're a little knowledge negative. I'm not going to be concerned at -8. We're up to 120 innovation. As I said earlier, that is going to get invested into baking stuff. now I need a whole lot more metal. Should probably improve the metal storage. Where am I storing metal? You store metal. Or an upgrade it. Upgrade 1 step. In fact, upgrade 2 steps. There. That effectively indirectly boosts how much metal I import up to. Okay, I'm gonna bring in some Garthimi slaves. Bring in like 150 Garthimi slaves and see what that does to this mission. Out to the neighbor. Can you supply me with 150 Garthimi captives? A lot cheaper than humans. We got lots of regions that can be upgraded. We may, in fact, do a decent amount of upgrading soon. Because I think this is the last one I can occupy without having to trespass. Yeah. Down to 4 left in the garrison. 2 left in the garrison. I'm waiting to see if I can get more metal in the city. What's the thing I was planning on creating? Bakeries. Bakeries cost to get first improved bakery is 300 metal. It's not like we got a shortage of grain. If anything, I got a shortage of people to haul the grain to the storage yards. That bakery's been upgraded. Jump to the second bakery. Upgrade it. And it shouldn't be... Oh no, I've got to upgrade that one too. So there we go. All the bakeries are now upgraded. Next tier. Innovation as it comes in is again still going to keep getting invested in better and better bakeries. I think we upgrade the bakers all the way to full, and then I think I then want to go for some knowledge so I can do Wood over Excellence and see how that plays out on bread production. More bread is good bread. Waiting for our captives to arrive. Close of mine to my innovation target. I might actually need another library or laboratory where I can get any more upgrades. Yeah, that's about as far as we're going to go with the current population in the existing laboratories. Siege is over. you gonna drop below 300? No, you should actually stay over 300 so I can go for the next level as well. And again, I'm just gonna improve the roads because we don't have perfect proximity. And now we're gonna think about region improvement. So for what we've got right now, you're maxed out. I could technically get a little more wood here if I need more wood. Or a little more food stuff. I should be good on wood. So, hold that good for the moment. Yeah, I could use another 15 workforce here, but at the moment it's making money with that workforce. That's fine, so you're fine. Need clay or stone. I think I'm good on clay, right? Oh no, I could use a bit more clay. 500 something shortage on the clay from the laboratory expansion, the laboratory improvements. That makes sense. There we go. Yeah, should put us back in the clay positive, optimize the clay coming out of there. In fact, technically boosted the stone coming out of there a little bit as well. You're good, you're reasonably good. Could get more fiber coming in if I needed it. I've got the canals here, so if I did something... Oh, sure, I got the canals down here, right, as well. So if I did something, it probably wants to be something to get buffed to the canals. I suppose the leather production, if I'm short on leather, would be buffed by that. Okay, let's do some leather production here as well then. Wood and coal. Got mushrooms and vegetables. You're providing fruit, but well, actually, you have enough to do one? Yeah, like one level. We'll take the one level. It's not too bad. And you probably want to be more coal if I'm going to do anything from you. And then we're starting to think about improving realms out here. Right now, you're only producing nationwide garrison and some workforce office. Okay, I think we'll try to expand you to maximum size. At the moment, I'm going to drop the roads off because the roads are just taking workforce. And then we expand growth, for example. .8. So I really want to go one more tier higher, although we should be able to get higher fairly easily. And he would like at least one more tilapia boosting building, ideally tilapia boosting building. One fight pit. There you go. Toss in the well for a little bit extra health. No, I'm better off with the growth building, I think, for the moment. Okay. So we let that grow for a bit. What does this region sort of specialize in? Vegetables? Fruit. Probably ship more vegetables back to the capital. Okay, the Garthimi have arrived, and they're all going to go join the slave population. which is telling me, hey, it's reducing submission by a lot, and it is. But we were just like at 300% slave submission, so that's dropping to 200 would be fine. And there we go. Gain by being harsh on your conquered foes, slaves will be more easily controlled. Gain the merciless. I guess enslaving people is considered merciless. I bring that up because we'd already achieved merciful on this run, which means we had mercy over 90%, and now it's in the negative percentage. Okay. Apparently, buying captives and enslaving them is not merciful. Very much the opposite. Oh, I suppose in the meantime, let's pop around to the other regions that can take upgrades, and we'll just give them their upgrades, just to get easier to tell which zones need upgrades. Oh, and you're a good place for fish, so we'll get fish here. Give me some fish. I'm looking into ways to boost health and just distributing more food is one way to boost health. Last 8% isn't quite worth taking absolutely nothing from the city in taxes to boost the tax revenue efficiency by 8%. Take some fish from there. Okay. Loyalty in the city's a little low. Although at this point I should be making more food by quite a bit. Yeah, lots more food. Okay, so let's reward everyone for the increased food efforts by just telling them all, you know what you can have? You can have more food. Probably some more than even that. So let's actually go one more tier higher for at least the free people. I'll be nice. I'll also do the slaves as well. More food servings equals more food. Ooh, access is tanked on the food stalls. Means I need more food stalls, obviously. Although, I'd say if access is tanked. If access apparently hasn't tanked? I don't know, access is still looking pretty good. Oh no, it's showing a low number because not that access is terrible, it's that I don't have them very well upgraded, do I? Oh no, you're happy. Still in the slaves that I was looking at that had a terrible access to stalls. Oh, the new Garthemis haven't had time to go eat. Fair enough. Okay, submission on average for the slaves is good. Submission for the Gathimi slaves, because we just significantly increased their quantity, is pretty bad. Let's emancipate 2 of them. I'll temporarily give them a big buff. Keep the rest in line while they get exposed to the services. A little more expert baking. Whereas the free population, 96 loyalty, 111 loyalty, 13 loyalty. Could actually do with a little bit more revenue. The whole heavily buying stuff has maybe not been great for the treasury revenue. Yeah. We'll have to see if the revenue recovers, because I've been spending it apparently pretty quickly. Meantime, get the improved tax office here for a little more tax revenue. Yeah, my guards are retraining and replace their losses from that last battle. Which I suppose has probably reduced the tyranny effect. Well, actually, no, we're still maintaining the tyranny effect around about 40% of what it would be if we had a bigger guard. Okay, the Garthimi are back over 100% submission. It's still pretty good submission, so if anything, if I had the money, I could just be bringing in more slaves. That's what's going on here. Yearly report. And we lost 2 million in trade revenue. MISC, tourism, and taxes mean that we mostly made up for a difference. People displaced. Okay, so if we're getting migration, it's actually better migration at the moment. the meantime, in theory, our education amongst the humans is growing. 2% education. With a target of 10%. I mean, people would appreciate more graveyards. Amount of subjects successfully buried. Yeah, the people who should be buried and were correctly buried don't necessarily match. And then if I could get more innovation, we could do some more services, I suppose. Speakers and stages, for example, would be pretty labor efficient, give a pretty good return on investment. So speaker is 100. The next stage is actually at 40. You're providing like 150, so one more library would in theory be enough. Pick up the next set of stuff. So let's go ahead and actually get into the library construction. That's going to make the odd jobber situation worse, not better. I can probably work with that. The other thing to continue to be trying to maintain is keeping the daycare ratio up. It is trending back down again, obviously as more and more children I'm wondering about. At this point, I'm kind of ignoring the deranged. There is a title for getting the deranged up to 200, so I'm ignoring until it hits 200. Is kind of what we're doing right now. Although that's another 90-something employees I can free up if we did treat them. Okay, who is the grumpy one? Demand Ancestral Lens of Alusk. Do I have a land border with you? I have a sea border. There is a way for me to sail directly to them. And they are very envious of us. Doing a quick save here. Because I think the solution to them being meaty is to make them go away. Because they don't like us enough to trade. They're just going to keep demanding things. So I think the best solution right now is I think my army can take their garrison and their army. It's going to be a bit of a hit and run thing because it's a little uncomfortably equal. But they're a one-province region. I might even literally be better off just declaring on them and see if they come raid us. Rather than letting them have the opportunity to acquire friends. So we're gonna declare on them. So I'm going to go leave that region exposed, see if they come out to play. And then in a couple days we'll just go for them if they don't come out to play. What was it? The stage is 40, yeah. And that's reasonably cheap. Main thing we're short on is the cut stone. And expanding cut stone production would be too terrible. Yeah, we're food consumption positive. Not so positive I want to keep expanding food consumption, but we're already up at 3.5 food servings, so we're getting most of the health bonus I can get off of it. Oh, and what is the requirement for... I'm gonna find a bakery for the final bakery upgrade. What is that going to be built out of? That's the weaver. That's not a baker. More machine parts. Okay, so I probably need to expand the machine maker. It looks like we haven't been storing up any, but that's because all of the... And this is actually kind of an annoying thing with the generator system. The entire generator system is trying to stockpile machine parts for maintenance. Even though only the places near the laboratories and this one pump over here actually need the machine parts. The entire system wants like 30 each, and we've got 9 janitors. There's 270 machine parts that can disappear into the janitor abyss. Okay, so they're not being manly enough to come out and face us. We will have to go face them. Improving that region over there. I got 195 more admin points. Go fight the field army. Well, that might involve us fighting the actual city army. That's why we did the quick save, is in case that that fight goes super horribly wrong. I don't think it will. Our troops are better trained. We're rocking maximum training for the deployed ones, and we've got max spears. Whereas they're running minimum equipment, minimum training. They will outnumber us, though, is the concern here. Go 5 ranks deep. And then the horde descends upon us. We are outnumbered, although less than 2 to 1. Cavalry charges. Wait, the cavalry charges. Will our men hold? Not much fancy as far as strategy comes here. It's just we've got better spears, we got better melee training. Formations can hold until the enemy wears out, and they will give up. One of the enemy units broke. Still not looking super great. We are still outnumbered by about 2 to 1 because of casualties taken, although all our units are still here on the battlefield, although one of theirs has run away. And I'm sort of sitting here like, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? This is actually a really hit or miss potential battle here. Here, all it takes is one of their units raking, and the tide will probably very rapidly turn against them at this point. Although, the same could be said the other way around. There we go, we broke one of their units. Turn that formation around. Get around to the rear of that unit, please. Much more even now. Another one of their units broke. Well, partially broke. It's fully broke at this point. Looks like it's the enemy's mobile force left and their last big block of troops. Flying troops. Another one breaks. The cavalry that was about to do charge on us just broke. Only one last unit of War Beast Riders to face off against my men. And Quitonians and well, Dondorians, not dwarves, I suppose. Victory is Oz! 574 men killed, routed, or have had their morale broken to the loss of 67 of ours. That's what you get for being my rival. The war is over. $450. I suppose actually that's going to stay up over 600, so we might as well take the next one. This place is probably going to want, you know, some amenities of this size. We'll give them a tavern. And this is far enough away, it probably needs some roads. Which basically at that point eats up all the free labor. But if we grow it any more than this, and to be fair, the stable point is 1.2. So it should actually grow enough to get to the next size. With that, the war is over. Long live the peace. Still have a massive odd jobber shortage, because of course I do. This mission's looking a lot better. I could probably probably could acquire more slaves. Well, actually, if I had more money, I could just acquire more slaves. Gotta let the treasury fill back up a bit. Working on that extra library, which is actually going to make the odd jobbers worse in the short run. Well, I can't give them what they want, even if I wanted to. Relations worsen. Yes, they have. The domain of what's it? Bristleton. That's not good. Bristleton, yeah. Oof. What did I do that pissed you off? Trespassing. Apparently I trespassed. Did I claim the coastline or something? Claim like the little bit of coastline I sailed through? Looks like they claimed a little bit of coastline I sailed through, so that's annoying. Excuse me while I trespass to get my army back out of your territory. Decline to that. That's what I want. Take some of these ones back. Oops. I was hoping that was a go to where I use all my points, not throw hundreds at them. In that case, 200. Yeah, I don't think we can get them to positive. Again, after that trespass. At least not a right away. Okay, so we'll leave that out. You're the only other one that we have below 100% trust with after the new adjustment. Let's send some flattery your way. Oops. Next whole region. Again, we can take you up another tier. A little more tax revenue out of you. You can do decent fish, so that's a little bit of fish. Oh, you're even at the point where you can upgrade again. Okay, we might as well. You'd be veg. Let's do taxes. I actually need money more than anything at the moment. I think. All the regions ready for level up. We're still growing, although you'll grow to be able to level up as well. And I think that's another 100, right? Yeah, so that I'm about as big as I want the territory to be at the moment. Until we can break 8,000. I have to move on and break the agreement. It's not you, it's me. Well, I suppose technically it's actually my trespassing. You did not appreciate me traveling through to fight the war. Let's use the rest of the diplomats that I have here to try to get you happy as quickly as possible. Might not be realistically achievable. Anyway, we got that library done. Boosting knowledge. I should at least wait until it gets up to 40, so I can get the proof stages. Apparently I'm at the point where I can let more Gothemia in. Let's... Gothemia happy enough. Allow up to 300 Gothemia in, please. The realm is probably big enough. The tax office, if I'm going to be collecting taxes, is probably worth it. It's the improvement, but we haven't done that yet. Oh, proximity toll. So the global proximity got added. Oh no, this is tolls. This would actually make trading better. Logistics slightly and annoyingly is behind transport. This is administration, so administration is definitely something I can think about expanding. More work safety wouldn't be terrible. Improving the schools wouldn't be terrible. So many potential good things to do. Okay, I do need a little bit more food stalls apparently here in the west. See if that helps out. The knowledge target should be high enough for the extra 40 there. To pick up stages, which will help with population, will help with getting people happy. Which hopefully help us get the odd jobbers sorted. The biggest concern with if I can piss these guys off is that they are, from a military perspective, bigger than I can realistically fight. We're coming up on the probably good point on the end of the episode. Well, end of the episode for YouTube. The stream's going to continue if you're watching on Twitch. You know what I will do? I question... I think that trespassing with Alistair here was probably... Well, had I known it was a trespass, I probably would have tried to do something a little bit different. Now that we've pissed these guys off, I've got to figure out how I want to keep them from, you know, starting a war with us. Because right now they're trended that way. I wonder... I'm going to test something quickly, and worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, then we're going to reload the save. So we're going to do another quick save here, let's say. So, new... Quick save 2, let's say. What I want to test is, if I give up all my territories that are adjacent to them, they can stop being considered a neighbor. Because I'm not trading with them, so there's no benefit for me sharing a land border with them. So, that means I need to give this area up. We're going to give it autonomy. Some self-rule. And these guys, of course, because we just gave them territory, likes us. only for so long, because their small size gives them a very heavy vassal relation modifier. And then, let's see, can I give you diplomacy regions? Bonyak and Gerald Brandt. That should, for example, make me no longer have a board with you. And I'm just gonna give it to them. Does that count as not having a region, or does a subject... I'm guessing a subject is considered a dependent. So we still technically share a border with them. Wouldn't want to unite with them. I'm guessing because vassal is a lower level than, or trade is a lower level than vassal, that's considered a betrayal, because I'm betraying their freedom, betraying their trust that I give them a freedom. They actually give me value for giving them stuff, giving them freedom. I could even get paid for that. Now this would, in theory, I'm just going to label a quick save here. This would probably give us no longer a border with the neighbors. Nope. Oh, no, it doesn't. Did I screw up and connection there? Yeah. Oh, they go all the way around. Okay, so that's why I didn't cut off. Let's try that again. I'm gonna load the quick save too. I'll do basically the same thing. If you... I suspect to lose the border, I'd have to abandon those regions, which... Abandoning 4 regions is a little high of a bar. Let's see if we can do it with autonomy. So we give you autonomy. So you'd be in my debt. We give you autonomy. Same sort of logic. Okay, so I've tested. Subjects do not make me stop boarding them. Like unpause, they're still my neighbor. If I cancel my relations with subjects, why did you super tank? Because that was a massive amount of betrayal. Okay, well, we're not taking that much betrayal. That's a mistake. Anyway, if I've rooted... You at this point dislike me as well. But cancel all the agreements. You're willing to pay me for that. That missed off more of our neighbors. Because apparently that's showing up as more betrayal than I suspected. Although that would be enough to stop them from being considered a neighbor. Okay, let's try one last play around with the autosave here, or the quick save we did. what I could do is I just give those regions autonomy, which would turn them, I think, back into free. So if we say, make you autonomous. The hands of the rebels. Same with you, hand you over to the rebels. Rebels. And the rebels. So I'm now no longer considered neighbors to these guys. So yes, they have a betrayal of me, but in theory they shouldn't be demanding things off of me. Yeah, a little expensive to do that to 4 regions. So basically we went 4 regions for that. Although it was 4 regions that weren't particularly useful. Okay, I'm basically gonna do that, but I'm gonna do a little bit differently. So we'll do one last little bit, let's save. Sorry about that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand over those regions, effectively sell them to friendly neighbors, so I can get at least a little bit of coin back for giving up the regions. So right now we're trading, or have trade relations with these guys down here. If I give them Arquello down here, because I don't have a alliance or a colleague deal with them, we'll stop technically be neighbor to the guy who's really grumpy at us for trespassing. We're just going to offer this region to them. I would like to be paid for it. They're willing to pay me for it. They are. Good. I'm actually even going to go to these guys. Let's see if these guys will buy the region we've just taken. That gives us a bunch of money, and then these 2 will give off probably these guys so we can maintain a border. Oh, I don't even maintain a border with them right now, because their capital is up there and all the rebelling territories have cut us off from it. And they don't really trust us either way. These guys, on the other hand, give it to them. They like us a reasonable amount. Sure. Offer Bonac and you. Here. Now we no longer have a border with you. So the trespassing here they'll come down from it in due time. They shouldn't start anything with me because they don't share a land border anymore. So yeah, I think this is where we'll leave off for the midstream tea break. That's freed up about 100 more admin power, so I can improve some of our existing land. We won't let this be too severe of a setback. We'll be thinking about expansion instead in the inner lands here. Yeah, I can get you up a level, and then I can probably get you up a level. Temporarily pull back a level on the road so I get more workforce. Get you growing. Yep, and that would be the next size up, so I'll work. Same sort of logic here. You have to pull back 1 level on the road. And the workforce when we get there will allow us to undo that. So yeah, we got a plan for the next part, for how we're going to manage the realm. I am now much richer, and could maybe leverage that into improving stuff in the capital, namely trying to bring more workers in, sort of against their will, but more workers in to work in the capital, I think the plan. But that'll be in the next part. If you're watching on YouTube, that'll be tomorrow's part. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're going to take a short break here so I can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. Well, I say sip some tea. Replace the cup of tea, because the tea is about to be very empty. I will be back as soon as the tea is brewed. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream. And bye for now.